Okay, y'all. Number 5, O is for offer. Let's get started. And I will have you know that I learned a little trick since the last time I recorded one of these. All I have to do is click that little thing, and it presents. And wow, my whole world changed. I learn new things all the time. So, anyways, this is the fifth letter in the EIEIO template. We call it the endless content formula. It's actually the endless content formula template. We have an endless content formula template worksheet called Social Simplified. So all these little pieces are just, they all come together to make sense in the end. So O is for offer. All right. The background of EIEIO, again, if you have been watching these classes, the other four, then you know the background. But basically, I took notes in a meeting for a long time, listened to a lot of smart people. I had nothing to do with social media at the time. I was just the ticket taker at this meeting, but I was doodling and what the heck, learning as I went. And I noticed that a lot of the things they were talking about had the first letter was E and then I, and then I put them together and I had this notebook with this piece of paper where I wrote EIEIO and I never forgot it. And then once I quit teaching and started my own business, I started using this acronym because it was the only thing that I could commit to memory and then repeat and wash and reuse over and over again. So I always made sure that when I started my business, that the content I was sharing was educational, inspiring, entertaining, informative, and I always made the offer. So that's kind of the background of it. And if it's something that sticks in my brain, and I know that I'm like a lot like all of y'all, overwhelmed and busy, and I don't have a lot of time to learn new things. I think you could appreciate a very simple formula that helps you be well rounded in your approach to marketing yourself online. So, the endless content formula organizes your thoughts about your products and services so that your monthly posts or your weekly posts earn you the right to sell. You don't want to just be salesy and you don't want to never sell at all and just be all informative. You want to make sure that you marry the two and have a good balance. And that is why I created the 9-box billboard from this acronym. And when I did that, I had an epiphany. The 9-box billboard mimics the Instagram feed. And when someone goes to the Instagram feed, to your profile or to their own profile, whatever, you usually can only see the top 9 posts. I mean, the most recent 9 posts, right? The ones at the top of the feed. And so those 9 need to create this little billboard for what it is that you do or what it is that you're selling or pitching at the moment. And we all focus on different things at different times of the year or the week or the month. So this fits really, really well for making an offer. And that is what this final fifth class is about, is the offer. The art of selling is to make your product or service relevant to the customer. So the endless content formula is a series of 5 content categories that can be repeated over and over again. So you think about, if I'm going to sell my iPhone here, right? I can have a series of EIEIO about it. I can tell you, educate you about the phone. I can inform you. I can inspire you. I can entertain you with the phone for sure. And I can make the offer, buy my phone, right? So you are earning the right to sell by first developing that product and making that product relevant to the clients that might buy it in the future. So far, we have covered the education, inspiration, entertaining, and informative posts. If you have not watched those other 4 classes, I really, really encourage you to go do that because we have broken it down for each category. And when you think about what am I going to say about this phone or whatever your product is, whether it's a highlighter or a Quest energy bar or a lip gloss or even a color analysis, whatever you're teaching people or whatever you're selling to people, peddling, it's important that you educate them on that product or that service. You inspire them to want that product or that service. You entertain them by showing them a reel or someone using that product or service. You inform them about what all it entails. And then you make the offer. And I'm going to say a bad word here, but I call it the buy my shit post. Okay. You have to have that buy my shit post because sometimes people forget to ever say that. They're like, oh, they're afraid to ask for the sell. So don't be that person. You've got to have it. The endless content formula allows you to stretch a singular focus, an energy bar, into a series of engaging captions and posts that increase your engagement and reach. It's about the angle with which you talk about this. If you're just informing people, that's different than educating. Informing them is that there are 190 calories and 21 grams of protein. That's information. Education is about the the girl who started making these and the process and the time it takes to make one, and maybe they're handmade or whatever, things that you can't read on the label, not the ingredients, right? um let's see. Entertaining might be a reel of someone biking through a canyon and they pull this out and they start eating it. That also could count as an inspiring, actually. I know I've seen people eating food on camera. That's apparently entertaining. The mouth noises get me though. So, anyways, use your imagination for your product or your service, but you can stretch one focus into 5 posts if you have different ways of looking and describing that product. Earning the right to sell just means that you're not turning people off or being too salesy. On the flip side, some people only sell. Some people think they just have to sell, 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 and that is not the case. A simple and repeatable plan will set you free. And this EIEIO, although it is formulaic, there is freedom in a formula. There's freedom in a formula for sure. And I feel like I need to write that down because everybody thinks that if your hands are tied, then you can't be creative. But it's actually very opposite. If you don't have some sort of parameters, then it's a lot harder to be creative because you want to conquer the world with one post. Knowing that you don't have to do that, that you have 5 posts, you have a series to get it all out. You're like, oh, I can just do this. It's actually very freeing. Social Simplified is the worksheet we created using this acronym, this formula: educate, inspire, entertain, inform, and offer. Then you repeat the first 4: educate, inspire, entertain, inform. Now you have a 9-post formula, or a 9-post, social media campaign that is very well rounded, talks, entertains twice, inspires twice, educates twice, informs twice, and then offers once. You only have to offer one time to be effective, but you just have to do it in a way that's strategic. You need to nestle it in between all of that, and you can see over here the EIEIO. When you lay it out on the grid, the offer falls perfectly in the middle. If you can remember EIEIO, like I could from my notes that long, long ago, 6 years, something like that, a long time ago, then you can be a pro at content marketing for your business. I will stop right now to kind of tell you that I use this EIEIO to sell tickets to my Guinness World Record workshop. And using this system in 2016 to stretch my content about this one chair painting workshop, allowed me enough content to say these things over and over and over again to where I actually broke the Guinness World Record. We had 422 register for the workshop, 376 people signed up and I'm sorry, showed up, and we shattered the record because the record was 250. Now, after that happened, yes, I was successful in the Guinness World Record and the chair painting and teaching, but that's not what put me on the map. All these people started asking me how I drove that much traffic, being one little person, to that Guinness World Record, how I pulled that off all by myself. Well, I started teaching this method way back then. What is that, 8 years ago? And now it's still to this day my flagship lesson, my flagship course. And here we are, 5 classes in, and I've taught you everything that I know about EIEIO. And hopefully you too can have this crazy wild success that gets you noticed and puts you on the map. So the art of selling is to make your product or service relevant to the customer. O is for offer. Offering your product and service is crucial, and oddly enough, it's often overlooked. Making the offer should be direct, should be clear, a product or service that's fully aligned with the rest of the campaign. So if you're entertaining and educating and informing and inspiring about the Guinness World Record, then your offer needs to say, sign up for the Guinness World Record. You can't be like, oh, and by the way, take this class. It's got to be aligned. So they all need to go together. Making the offer is actually helpful. I can't tell you how many business owners I've worked with where I've gone to their page and from their initial discovery call, I'm like, can you tell me what you do? Because I think it's in the health and wellness industry, but what do you do? What do you provide? Because they never make the offer. So making the offer is helpful to your audience because they have invested in learning from you. They are following you. They are picking up what you're laying down. And oftentimes they want to support you or they want what you've inspired them to buy, but they don't know how to buy it because you never tell them. So don't make it hard for them to figure out what you do or how they can work with you. Make it easy. Providing a straightforward and clear offer is a courteous gesture because it says to your client, I value your time and I want to make this as easy on you as possible. This will lead to increased conversion rates and referrals. Because think about it. If someone thinks it's easy to work with you, they're going to tell their friends, oh, it's so easy. Just go to our Instagram and click the link. Makes it so easy. So think about a restaurant scenario. If you go to eat at a restaurant and your service is terrible and it takes 20 minutes to get your iced tea, they are not going, even if the food was great, the caveat is going to be like, well, it's really hard to, you better block off some time. It's going to take you forever, right? So you want to make sure that you make it easy to work with you and clear so that your referrals go up because people are converting to buyers because they know how to work with you and they can click and buy. So my favorite way to deliver an offer is through carousels and graphics because it's so clear and it kind of walks them to the sale, the carousels do. So we're going to do an example here, several examples here in a second. But offer posts should include at least a couple of the following. You need to have like a time frame, like time's almost running out, or 3 days till this, whatever. Scarcity, the first 30 downloads. FOMO, make sure that people have a fear of missing out. If you've sold this product or service before, why don't you put some reviews in there or something so that other people know that other people have bought this and really liked it. And then they are like, I don't want to miss out on that. I want one too. Add bonuses and offer a guarantee. You don't have to do all of these, but a couple or a few is a good idea, even if you have to make it up. Just if you don't have a guarantee, well, then say 7-day money back guarantee. The likelihood that people are going to ask for their money back is very slim. There might be a couple, there might be 10 over the course of a year. But if it makes you make, 100 more sales, then it comes out in the wash. So, Social Simplified, again, the plan here: educate, inspire, entertain, inform, offer, educate, inspire, entertain, inform, EIEIO, EIEI. Let's say we were focusing on selling Social School, which is our e-course. It's 9 modules, and maybe we want 12 new people to register for Social School. Let's just say we were going to do that. We've already educated, inspired, entertained, and informed. So now all we have to do is make that offer, right? We don't really have to think about what we want to focus on anymore, because this is the last part of the campaign. There is no focus. It's just the buy my shit post. Because you've literally already educated, inspired, entertained, and informed, all you need to do is sell at this point. So again, that's why it's called the 9-box billboard. Every other post around the center is selling. This isn't selling. These are what's selling them on it, right? I saw something the other day that it's all these high level products, and they're not selling the phone, they're selling innovation. They're not selling Nike isn't selling the shoe, they're selling success, or whatever it is. They're selling convenience. They're selling the emotion, not the product. So by EIEIOing it, you're selling the emotion and not the product. This is the product. All of this has to do with the emotion. So let's dive into examples of offer posts. Here's the carousel where we're offering our coaching. We're calling it out. How to work with us. Literally saying, how do you work with us? Coaching. Let us guide you while you learn. And then we talk about it. We offer 2 different levels. We offer FOMO with the customer testimonials in there. And then we have the call to action at the end. We have graphics. I prefer the one on the left because it's simple, it's striking, it's branded, and it's cute. Last day to join time. We even have a clock there to kind of remind them. And then in the caption is where we have all the information. This is register now. That now is the time element. We do have informative information on here. And we say that it is a Trek CE accredited workshop, which is that bonus feature. This is a reel that we did, and this is also a buy my shit post. And it looks like this on the feed, but I'm going to just show you here what it looks like when we play it. Okay, so the doors to Social Club are now open. Again, now that time frame, and it's like, very clear. Come on in. The water is nice. So we have a reel, we have a carousel, we have graphics. Okay, so this is from our client, the Drip Bar in McKinney. This is their reel. If you're anxious, try this: the NAD drip, soother drip, and restoration drip. And it's literally a call to action specifically for people who are feeling anxious. I actually probably need that. I was really anxious this morning because I was like, I got to finish that class. So I got up really early, but man, that would be really nice. I'm interested. And then again, here's a graphic post for them. So they do graphics and reels as well. Here's another carousel post from us, but I wanted to specifically call this one out because it's also a little bit informative, and we use this in the I is for information class. The November classes, and this was a little map that we put up of when the classes drop on the 1st and 15th. and what the classes are going to be and what the takeaways are. And then we go to the buy my crap stuff. Get 2 new classes every month, access our entire library of social media marketing classes, plus get 20 new ones each year. Snag the combo to your learning locker today, ClassPass. Link in the bio to get a ClassPass today. Again, the time, there's even a little time there, a little clock, and it makes you not want to miss out because you know what the upcoming classes are. Bonuses, they're all there. Sales posts, just a little FYI, don't always have to sell. They can ask someone to subscribe or follow. So the point of a sales post is about gaining something from your followers and providing them a way to support you further than social media. It's about getting them off of the platform and into real life. So real life is your inbox. Real life is your YouTube channel. Real life might be into your studio to get a facial or whatever. So this right here is another graphic post where every Thursday we post a new blog post, and that blog post always is written about the class that dropped the day before. So essentially this blog, right, is a big honkin' sales post that has the EIEI. It's like a sales funnel. It's the whole EIEIO, because the blog entertains them, inspires them, educates them, informs them, and then makes the offer for the class at the bottom. So by us asking them to go read the blog post, we're actually leading them to buy the class. So it's just another layer of marketing. And don't worry, if you're not there, we were not there either. It took us forever to get all this crap together and find our butt, but we did. And now we have pages and pages of blog posts and classes on our website. So you got to start somewhere. If your content asks your followers to make a purchase or book a call or sign up for a subscription, it's considered a sales post. From our experience, we've found 2 different types of people. They either only sell or they never sell. So we find people are like a jalopy either way. It's just a very unbalanced sell, 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 sell. Never try to create that relationship with the client. It's all salesy. It's literally the types of accounts that turn everyone off from social media. It's the one that gives us all a bad name. Then we also have the clients that confuse everyone and just, oh, sunshine and rainbows, and then nobody ever knows how to buy from them. You don't want to be on either end of that spectrum. You want to be in the middle. And if you can remember EIEIO, then I promise you can be a pro marketing person for your business too. Sales posts are necessary, but they can't be everything that you do. So educate establishes you as an expert. When you're educating people, you're diving deeper into the product, the things that they can't read on the label. When you inspire, you're developing an emotional connection. When you're entertaining, you're raising the awareness of your product. Because remember, reels reach way beyond your existing followers. They raise the awareness for the problem that you and your business solves. Informative posts empowers your audience with facts and straightforward details. I always tell my son, hey, make a decision based on the most information you can get, because that's going to make you make better decisions. And then again, the offer asks for the sale or the follow. Super simple. So far, we've covered it all. The education, inspiration, entertaining, information, and offer. Do they have to be in that order? Not necessarily, but don't do the offer till last, okay? The other ones, if you mix them up, that's totally fine. It is just easier to remember that because you're like, what is the other E? It'll come to you and you can remember this. So this is called the template for more effective, endless content for your social media. EIEIO. 5 of 5 are checked and done. Download the worksheet, print it out over and over again, use it to write your social media, because a formula really can set you free. Thank you.